Welcome back. So smoking hubbly bubbly or hookah as it's called is extremely popular, whether at home alone, during a friendly get-together, at restaurants or at parties. Some people use it almost on a daily basis, thinking it's less harmful than smoking cigarettes. But is it really? Well, according to the Cancer Association of South Africa, smoking one hubbly bubbly can give you as much nicotine as 10 cigarettes. Let's speak now to Dr. Catherine Egbe from the South African Medical Research Council. Catherine, good morning and thank you very much for your time. You know, we're generally aware of the health risks associated with alcohol abuse, the risks associated with smoking cigarettes, but very few honestly know the risks associated with smoking tobacco and other drugs through hookah pipes, which have become quite popular, as we stated in the intro there, and specifically among young people. But that particular study that has revealed that one hookah can give you as much nicotine as 10 cigarettes is most certainly worrying. How true is this?
Thank you very much for having me. I think that the WHO even takes it further to say that a 1-hour session smoking hookah is equivalent to smoking 100 cigarettes. So it's even worse than what you're describing.
My goodness.
And it's true because it's tobacco. We're talking about the combustion of tobacco. And then we're even introducing new other substances in the form of the charcoal that burns the tobacco. Because the charcoal itself is a chemical. It's something that when it burns and it burns with something else, produces another chemical. And of course, we have more carbon monoxide. And so that is why sometimes when people smoke these products, one of the short-term effects is that you can have carbon monoxide intoxication. And for viewers who may not understand what we mean by carbon monoxide intoxication, is like, you know, someone committing suicide using the exhaust pipe. Because what you get is that yes, because in the body, we have our blood usually would transport oxygen to the cells of our bodies so that our cells can function, so that it can burn, you know, the food we eat and then produce energy. Now, when oxygen and carbon monoxide are together, the blood has a higher affinity for carbon monoxide. So where there is a carbon monoxide and oxygen, the blood will take carbon monoxide. And carbon monoxide cannot do the same work as oxygen for our bodies. So what you're doing is that you're actually killing your cells gradually.
So there clearly is significant damage to the body. So where and when was the perception created that it's far less dangerous than cigarettes?
Of course, the marketers of these products are the ones who created this impression with the way that the product has been designed with a lot of, you know, attractive colors and the fact that they've now introduced flavors. Most young people who smoke hookah, they've mentioned that they smoke it because of the flavors. So you have vanilla, strawberry, you know, and so many exciting flavors, which are, of course, targeted at the young people. And then, of course, when they smoke these products, they don't feel the taste of tobacco. They instead feel the taste of vanilla or strawberry. And so they've made the product to be very attractive to young people, to make them feel that when they are smoking it, they are not smoking normal tobacco. But it's actually a very dangerous substance to smoke. Apart from the fact that you're smoking tobacco, just like you have a lot of health effects caused by cigarette smoking, a lot of heavy metals, nicotine, tar. You also have those in hookah. But in addition, most of the people who smoke hookah smoke it in a group. So they smoke it while socializing. And what happens, you know, we have COVID now. We had other infectious diseases even before COVID. So what the person is doing is actually exposing him or herself to, you know, getting infected with TB or hepatitis B or so many other diseases that can, yeah, of course, that can be transmitted through sharing the pipes.
You know, I want us to delve even deeper into some of these diseases, be it your oral ulcers and herpes and the like. But I first just want to get clarity on this. The hookah is an age-old tradition dating back centuries, particularly in the Indian community, and it seemed that everybody was very healthy. So is it a quantum issue here that perhaps they're doing it far too often and that's why it's probably more dangerous, or it was dangerous even then, if you were going to have an hour session, which you say is equivalent to smoking 100 cigarettes?
Yeah, so I'm not exactly familiar with all the traditions that went with using hookah in the Eastern Mediterranean region, where it was more popular before it became, this popular product. But what I would say is that most of the time, even with normal tobacco that we have, the cigarettes, before cigarettes being manufactured, tobacco was being used by our ancestors. They were used to, to kind of do the traditional rites. And so you have even a group, for example, in the US that are calling on the tobacco industry to pay for the damages done to the product, because these products were supposed to be traditional products that were not used indiscriminately like the way it's being used now. So, of course, we find that the way people are using it now is definitely not the way that they were being used at the time that it originated in these regions.
So could it cause early
tobacco
death?
is tobacco, of course, because, of course, tobacco smoking causes diseases. Over 8 million people die annually globally for using these products. And some of them are not even using, but they are exposed to it. The same thing with hookah, the smoke comes out. And of course, just like you have cigarettes, most of the diseases that will be caused by cigarettes will also be caused by hookah. And in addition, you find that, it's more worrisome for me that young people find this attractive, because nicotine, which is the constant in all tobacco products, is very dangerous to the development of adolescent brains. And these are people who are supposed to be making use of their brains to study in the schools, and then they are, taking this product that is impacting on their performance, their academic performance, if I may use that, stretch it. So at the end of the day, they are impacting on their brain development. They are getting the adverse effects of using these products that have tar and carbon monoxide and other heavy metals. And so it's never any win for any young person to be, or even any old person to be smoking.
Because we understand there's even arsenic, which is some form of rat poison that is found in the smoke.
Yes.
So can it cause early death? Or are we going to see a situation where 5 years from now, everybody who would have been smoking hubbly bubbly could possibly start getting ill?
So the thing is, I think in addition to it causing death, is the fact that it makes the smokers more susceptible to start smoking the traditional cigarettes. So what we see is that at the end of the day, the young person who is using this product may not feel it immediately, but some of them will feel it immediately because, of course, with asthma and other respiratory tract diseases and the infectious diseases, they may contract these ones. But then most of the time, you will see these things maybe later on in life when they start struggling with their health, and then they start having problems with chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. They start having cancers, and they start having, problems with their brain development. So most of the time, these things are not immediate, so they don't feel it
but it's
immediately as they're smoking.
Irreversible.
But it's there, yes, except they stop. And if they stop, it will take some time for the body to get back to how it was before they started smoking. So it's never a win, like I said earlier.
Dr. Catherine, thank you very much for your insights. I mean, we're pro-choice, so it's important that I think, because there could have been some that were smoking hubbly, really believing that it was probably safer. So now that they know, they'll make an informed decision at the very least. Thank you very much for your time. That's Dr. Catherine Egbe from the South African Medical Research Council.